and welcome! Welcome to SDO number 142, the Sea Duckling Open, the monthly tournament for the amateur players. As I see that my matchup thingy is broken again. What a start. Anyway, welcome to our monthly tournament for the amateur players. We already have our first series about to be loaded in. And I'm of course Kuro, the 16 squad Sanseki, and I will be here to cast for you. We'll take a look at the bracket right after this series, but for now we are already ready for the first of our games. And it is on Mothership of all maps. So first up, on the bottom of Mothership, we have the first of our players. It is the orange Zerg player from Latvia, representing the Void. It's Sugarcoat. And on the top side of the map, we have the green Protoss player from Finland, representing TBH. TBH? RBH. Look, my brain is not fully awake here, okay? RBH, it is RickGames. Yeah, we don't get a lot of games on Mothership, so it's always interesting to see some. Like I feel like Mothership was way more popular before it made it to ladder, honestly, which is pretty funny. But of course, in our amateur tournaments, we do randomize the first map. So the first map is oh, that's a nice effect. The first map is purely thanks to RNG, and this time for round 1, it's Mothership. It's of course a huge map, so I assume both our players will be playing macro. We have a Hatch Face from Sugarcoat. We have the Nexus Before Core from RickGames. Oh, 70 stream streak. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, I am... Okay, here's the thing. Here's a fun fact about Kuro. Also, I see that the... Hold on. I see that some things are not changed that we're supposed to do. Here's a fun fact about Kuro. I am very bad at keeping streaks. Like, be it like Duolingo streaks, or I don't know, some other game streaks. Like, I just... Look... And it's not even that I don't do things consistently, like I will do them consistently, but like when I have to do them like regularly, possibly like every day, it's just not happening, okay? Sooner or later I will break it. Ooh, we have a Stargate from RickGames. And a very touch. Yes, hello the chat. See I stun, I see Psychons, I say 3-6. Solen Svard, of course. We just I guess, do you redeem that notification? What do you do with it? Share this notification? So Natep comes into the base of Sugarcoat. Just single one though, but still gets a drone, which is pretty cool. And escapes alive, although barely. Sugarcoat did get a good scout of the base, so I think he should have seen the... Ooh, didn't see the Stargate! Just barely did not see the Stargate. How interesting. Yeah, and I don't think... Sugarcoat is not making any spores, at least not yet. Maybe they will come later. But yeah, that's very interesting that this Stargate was just barely out of vision. Well, Cassie is on the way, so this Stargate will not be, you know. It's just for the Oracle, just for some harassment, but still it could get quite a few drones considering that there are only queens for defense. Roach one on the way. Ooh, Adept's already coming in. And they are being dealt with. Did we lose any drones? You know, only that one drone on the beginning, so the Adepts have not been very successful. As I said, that may change when the Oracle is out. Sugarcult is now aware that the Oracle is out there. Where is the Oracle? Hold on. Ah, there it is. Hello, Duck. Long time no see. Yeah, the spores are now on the way. Maybe, considering how big this map is, actually they may be finished by the time the Oracle comes in here. Especially since the Oracle doesn't seem to go straight for the bases, but instead like waits a little bit. Yeah, and the spores are done. So pretty nice day for Sugarcult. We have one spore at every base. Oh, look at that. The Oracle was not able to do anything. Just some revelation. Einstein currently on a 1-watch streak. Yeah. Look. Okay. Sugarcult gets information about this third base. Coming up. Oh, and the Zerglings are going here to deny it. Let's see if they can do it. We have a Stalker here, but there's no Sin City prepared yet. Oh, the Nexus! It is cancelled. Just barely. A very nice cancel there for Sugarcult. Of course, just a cancel, so you know, RickGames can immediately remake it, but still, that's always, you know, some time lost, some resources lost. Ooh, we have double Oracle now for some more harassment. Double Oracles can one-shot drones, so the spores are not as big of an issue. Meanwhile, Sugarcult was able to get the Hydra then. And I guess we'll be going Link Roach Hydra then. 4 based on the way. In the meantime though, the Protoss did amass quite a few Stalkers, but that's about it. Yeah, focusing on Blink. Is charge on the way? Not yet. Because I see the +1 upgrades and I immediately think charge, but it's not there quite yet. So hello ARJ Skater. Long time no see. I say that, but I feel like you pop into chat every now and then. Just maybe not as much as in the past. And yeah, we do have this charge. Okay, cool. The stats is actually triggering on the Zerglings, so not doing that much in the grand scheme of things. The Oracle does fly into the Hydralisks and is lost, so we only have one Oracle now. Templar Archives are on the way. When did second Oracle? No, it also goes down. This is not quite the dead space that RickGames was hoping for. The Stalkers poke in, but there is quite a big Zerg army. One thing that Sugarcult is missing though is creep spread. There's barely any creep out on the map. So this army, even though it's, you know, formidable right now, it cannot really go too far just because it's not particularly fast. Oh, okay. I see. We are switching to a fleet beacon. But there's still only one Stargate, right? Yeah, there's only one Stargate. So it looks like RickGames is getting a bit of everything. We're getting the fleet beacon. There's already the Robo Bay. There is a Templar Archives and working on Storm as well. So it's a bit of everything. Oh, and we have this nice warping point here. But it's time for Sugarcult to move out. I just did sell the Rambai, which is pretty nice. A few of the zealots already made it to the base beforehand, so Sugarcoat was alerted to this aggression. The observer does follow the army. And what do we have? RickGames just established this core base, getting some cannons for the defense, but I don't think... Ooh, the High Templars! They're so out in the open. A few of them will be going down to the Zerglings, but ooh, nice storms on the army. But that said, Sugarcoat can just dodge the storms and just keep moving for the core. Besides, roaches aren't particularly known for caring about storms, regardless of the patch. Fourth base goes down. The Roach Hydra army marches forward. It is quite damaged from the storm, that is true, but it is still alive and still has quite a lot of firepower that this Gateway army doesn't quite have right now. There are no shield batteries around, that's another thing. There's only one at the third base right now. So it's not easy for RickGames to engage here, and the Zerg army just proceeds to go deeper into the natural. Ooh, the infestors! The infestors get caught! The reinforcements were going right through the Protoss army, and the two infestors are going down, so that's pretty nice catch there for RickGames. But that doesn't deny the fact that there's still an army right in his main base. A Colossus pops out. No thermal lance though. But nonetheless, the Roach Hydra marches forward, the Colossus goes down, the War Priest goes down as well, and I think Sugarcoat got this. She is cold, and Sugarcoat will be taking game number 1. As I just remembered that I didn't start predictions. Cat. Girl, one day you will do all the things and not just some of the things, you know? Look, I can only do so many. I'll remember for next series. I'm sure of it. Should I put another arrow on my screen? Because that was the meme that I was putting like sticky notes on my screen, and I have these like arrow shaped ones. And I will tell you, my screen looks pretty funny with all these arrows. Okay, Winter Madness. I feel like I'm on a plane or something. Because when you're moving players in the lobby, like sometimes it switches the race to red Terran, like specifically red Terran, like color and race, like switches to red Terran, and so whenever I'm moving players, I always say race check, color check, and I got the response of check. And I'm like, I feel like we're going through a checklist on a plane or something. But anyway, welcome to Winter Madness for our game number 2 of this first round match. And here in the bottom right we have the first of our players currently up 1 in this series. It is our orange leg player from Latvia, representing the Void. It's Sugarcoat, the second. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the green Protoss player from Finland, representing RBH. It is RickGames. How interesting. Now that's something I have not seen in a while. Sugarcoat opening with a proxy hatch, but Not in the base of a Protoss, but outside, like all the way in... it's not even a third location, like all the way in the front. So very, very interesting, eh? Meanwhile, a regular hatch first at home, as to not to raise any alarms. RickGames does see that. I do wonder if he sees that like something is not quite right with the count, but it may also be very difficult to spot. So we'll see. We'll see. And I wonder if this is just like just a link pad, or if there's some other plan for this. Probe is looking for that third. Okay, pool is about to be finished. What is it? Are we making links? Oh, also, yeah, we're making links. Also, speaking of, I did want to mention, because the players were talking beforehand, that they do meet each other on ladder a lot. So like they are frequent ladder like opponents. And I think Choigalaxy was saying that RickGames is typically the one winning their games. So it's very nice for Choigalaxy to already be up 1 in the series, and we'll see if we can go even farther as the links do go into the base. The pylon is unprotected and there's only one, but the adept is already out. We'll try to focus that adept, but that will not be easy, especially with speedless links. But Choigalaxy is already committed. More links are on the way. The adept is pretty low, and the links will be able to take it down, but there's already a secondary wall behind. Who even the queen made the tracks from the hatchery. Although from the proxy one, obviously. The car actually will be going down, which means there will be no warpins for RickGames. And the wall is not complete. The links will go in. The second adept pops out, but now with this many links, it doesn't really matter if they have speed. The shield battery will definitely help a lot in this defense, but the energy will run out eventually. The queen is dishing out damage, you know, in range as well. And now the production is unpowered. The second gateway still is, but the pylon will be focused. Probes are being pulled off the line, but there are so many Zerglings here. With that, no more production is present. The Stargate is about to finish though for RickGames. But by the time anything comes out, like, I don't know if there will be any probes left. Oh, the Oracle will be denied. Yeah, the Zerglings already surrounded the pylon. The Oracle will be not coming out. And with that, the Protoss base is being overrun with the Zerg. Oh my god, you did 30. I mean, that was a pretty cheesy strategy, but it did work for Choigalaxy. And with that, Choigalaxy will be taking this series 2-0. Very, very strong showing there for Choigalaxy. And again, I have not seen a proxy hatch like that in a long time, so very interesting. Of course, RickGames is still eligible for the random raffle, so to keep an eye on that. But yeah, with that, congratulations to Choigalaxy, as he will be moving on to the quarterfinals. And with that, it's time to take a look at our bracket. This is where I find out that the bracket doesn't work either. Okay, it works. Good. Because I didn't quite have the time to look at it. Yeah, Choigalaxy is saying that, like, see you on ladder. Yeah. Looks like they do play each other a lot. Which I mean happens on ladder every now and then, that you just have these opponents that you meet a lot. Ah, yeah. Yeah, RickGames play other tournaments. There are actually quite a few amateur tournaments. See, that's the thing, like, it's not easy to advertise amateur tournaments, so it's always like the the best way for new players to find out about amateur tournaments is just to share between your friends, because that's probably the most effective way to share. Of course, you have like some, you know, discords that are focused specifically on amateur players, and obviously you can encourage people from there to play, but in general, you know, no, how do I put it? A lot of amateur players, even if they're interested in competitive play, they don't like actively look out for tournaments. So yeah, that's definitely the difficult part there. So I appreciate Sugarcoat advertising advertising other amateur tournaments as well, so everybody can participate. I thought special. Okay. Anyway, with that, as we just saw, Sugarcoat does advance to quarterfinals and waiting for the winner of T-City versus BlueKnight. Meanwhile, UncleClimax did beat Roxas 2-0 and is currently playing versus Prettyfly. At the same time, Choigalaxy beat Gumer Simio and is now playing Psikus in the quarterfinals. That's what, by the way, that's what it means. Psikus is a Polish word and it means... It means like, it's like a... It's not a prank, because prank is like too extreme and this is like more like cutesy. It's kind of like when people say trick or treat, so that would be the trick basically. So there you go, fun fact. And also we have StarKnight beating Mocha Boy and is now playing Libre. Yeah, Sugarcoat, if we move, is asking if we're moving to NA, but let me see where this city is from. I believe they are a new player. Okay, yeah. Okay, back to NA then. Okay, let's see. Let us see. Okay, it does not look like either of our players is out of the game yet. Yes, we do have some time. I see that other matches are currently underway. So it's possible that soon we will have the semi-finalists as well. So I guess we'll go to a short break. We'll wait for our players to finish their previous series, and then we will be back with the quarterfinals and Sugarcoat. So see you then. And welcome back! Welcome back to Sea Duckling Open number 142, our monthly amateur tournament up to 4.2k MMR. And we are here in the quarterfinals. And it turns out we have a team kill. It turns out even the players didn't know it was a team kill. But hey, you know, it's a big clan, okay? It's a very big clan. Sometimes you just don't meet all the members. But anyway, we are here on 10,000 feet, Ellie, where in the top left corner we have our orange Zerg player. It is representing the Void, and coming from Latvia, it's Sugarcoat. And across the map we have our Terran player. And I made a very silly thing, I closed the tab. Very good. Okay. We have our blue player that also has blue in the name. It is the Terran player from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia? Is that how you say it in English? That's my problem. Like I know the name of the country in Polish. I don't know in English. But it is also representing the Void, BlueKnight. And with that, let me launch predictions. Look, it actually happened. But yeah, is it Bosnia? Is that how people pronounce it in English? So I'm just so used to Polish pronunciation that it's just weird to me to say it any other way. But yeah, not many players from that country, so it's always nice to see some like there are a few of those countries that have, you know, a small but very passionate representation, so it's always interesting to see. And we'll see how this team kill will go. Again, like the Void is a pretty big clan nowadays. They do get a lot of members, so it looks like Sugarcoat and BlueKnight didn't quite had an opportunity to meet each other yet. Apparently, it's still fairly recent that BlueKnight has joined, so yeah, interesting. Sugarcoat. It's getting a few links. Well, quite a few links, honestly. 6 to start up. I am only here for the fanfare. Welcome, Milk. Yes, for those who don't know, Milk and Cookies is fully responsible for the fanfare being on stream. Without him, it would be... I mean, to be fair, like, also Pressure made it, so you know. Pressure made the app with the fanfare, so... But that was the thing where, like, that was the first time that Milk was streaming, and we just let him pick, like, any effects he wanted, and he wanted the fanfare. So that's what it is. So shoutouts to Milk, or blame Milk if you don't like the fanfare. It's all him. Reaper did a bit of a poke, but didn't quite get too far. You know, the Zerglings did see what is going here more or less, but they didn't see exactly what the build is, and we have 2-1-1. 2-1-1 with Hellions. Meanwhile, our Zerg player already going for Roaches. As the Hellions do go across the map, they will be joining the Reaper. First Roaches are about to pop out. And oh, they don't quite block the ramp, so the Hellions are able to get in, but they don't actually get to the mineral line, so overall, it seems fine for Sugarcoat. That one Hellion is quite annoying, but it is only doing some scouting. I just realized the Zergling speed has only been underway recently. Like, it's only halfway done because the Sugarcoat was focusing on Roaches so much, and now they are marching across the map. There is one tank. Some bunkers are being prepared by BlueKnight as well. Liberator is on the way, that can also help. Let's see see how it goes. A few Ravagers are being more, but only 2. I don't think that's enough to snipe a tank. I think you need 4. Even the Viking lands and actually snipes one of the Ravagers. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think this will quite work out for Sugargold, but he is still queuing up more Zerglings. So this attack, this pressure will not be over too soon. But yeah, there are drones in production. Sugargold also realizes that this is a pretty solid defense. Like, you know, it's not the strongest defense, obviously. Like, there are only a few units, but the setup itself is pretty solid. It's not quite enough for the units to get in right now. The Zergling reinforcements may definitely help. It's possible that the run by like sneaks through all of this and maybe even gets to the mineral line. But it shouldn't be like a game-ending damage. Ooh, poor Overlords. Yeah, it looks like the Zerglings were destroyed by the infantry, by the marines, by the ones in the bunker as well. The roaches were cleaned up. And yeah, with that, this attack by Sugarcoat has been cleaned up. There are more Zerglings on the way. The Baneling's Nest has also been put down. As now it's time for BlueKnight to counter-attack. The Zerglings were trying to slow down the attack, but they weren't quite able to achieve much here, unfortunately. More Zerglings are on the way. This tank is pretty low, but it's all the way in the back, and the Marines are zoning out the Zerglings pretty effectively here. The Queens are going down, and ooh, this does not look good for Sugarcoat. More Zerglings are streaming in. That's one. The second tank is also getting quite low, but this is the last of the units, and with that, BlueKnight will be taking game number 1. And with that, right at the end of this game, shout out to Morituri for subscribing with Prime for 25 months. Over 2 years. Thank you. Thank you for supporting our channel, and I hope you enjoy. Tourmaline, okay. Or some said tourmaline. It sounds like, I don't know, like some kind of product. Let's see how game number 2 goes. Also, apparently, as I see the players chatting, apparently there is an in-house tournament or some other in-house event happening in the Devoid. So that's pretty cool. It's always cool when the clans organize events for their members. But anyway, with that, we are loaded into Tourmaline, and in the top right corner we have our Zerg player from Latvia, representing said clan, Devoid. It is Sugarcoat II. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the blue It's the blue-tailed player. I almost said the BlueKnight player. You know? The humans player. It is the blue-tailed player, representing the void and coming from Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is BlueKnight. Ah, yes, the blue human player. We are in Warcraft now. Oh, I see. Sugarcoat really likes the proxy hatches in game 2. Ah, this is the classic one though, right? In the natural base. And we'll see how BlueKnight reacts to it. Obviously he has not seen it yet. Have fun, have fun. Oh, that SCV will be going down there though. Yeah, with that BlueKnight knows what's up. He sees the hatchery, or at least the SCV does. I mean, Sugarcoat definitely can be quite a cheesy player, and still, BlueKnight puts down the command center, although it is on high ground, obviously. Bunker is being set up. So, a defensive setup will be there for BlueKnight. A wall is being patched up as well, as to not let any Zerglings up. But the hatchery will finish, and that means that, like, sure, as you will, you know, you can destroy the hatchery and be fine, but the creep will still spread, which means that, like, the command center will be quite delayed on this base. Oh, a spine crawler. I see what you're doing, Sugarcoat. But yeah, this hatchery should be going down. The Zerglings will pop up, but with the bunker, I don't think they should be doing too much damage. And BlueKnight in the meantime is getting the factory. Obviously, he's gonna probably gonna just change, you know, that the command center into orbital and just take his time. Meanwhile, Sugarcoat is really committed to this, making a second hatchery, but isn't quite able to finish it, taking the gas as well. It looks like this has been cleaned up. The creep is already receding in. It looks like it will be perfectly in time for the command center. Yeah, the orbital is on the way, and the creep should recede right as it is ready. So overall, pretty nicely done for BlueKnight. Didn't even spend too many resources. I mean, he did get the bunker, but that's not a lot of commitment to defend this. Meanwhile, Sugarcoat did cancel a hatchery, lost one as well, and has no units back at home. Actually, how much do we have? Ooh, 600 already in minerals lost. I mean, those leggings did also cost quite a few resources. And this is a very early game. Obviously later in the game it wouldn't be that much of an issue. Nonetheless, we are transitioning, although I see Sugarcoat still making Zerglings, but I think those are just defensive Zerglings. There are still drones on the way. But it will take a while before these spaces are properly droned up. Scouting medevac, I guess. We have a lair on the way for Sugarcoat and a Baneling nest. I mean, that's pretty fair, pretty standard. Sugarcoat does see that there are marines around, so, you know, when you're fighting versus bio, Banelings are pretty necessary. And speedless Banelings are not quite the same. So we have this small move out here from BlueKnight. Just some marines. I think this is like what? Like 1 medivac full of marines? Just 8. A repair joining in as well. So you know, just a little bit of a poke just to see what the Zerg is up to, maybe clean some creep. Ooh, this queen will be going down at the third though, and ooh, the Zerglings just stream in. Nice position there from BlueKnight, but nonetheless has to evacuate the forces. Since the speedless banelings, one of them actually does connect. So loses a marine for that, but overall, I mean, again, this was not to do damage per se, this was more of a poke force, and does manage to get the queen from the third base, so that's always very beneficial there. As it looks like there's only single queen per base. So this third base will definitely be much slower on production than it otherwise would be. We have a Spire on the way for Sugarcoat. You know what, there's a Ghost Academy for BlueKnight. Not something you see very often in this matchup, I feel like. Not at this stage, anyway. Another drop coming from BlueKnight, this time a few more marines there, so a stronger force. Probably once again coming for that third, as it's still fairly undefended. The new queen just popped out. Once again, the queen goes down, the Zerglings stream in, but they're not quite in time to save it. The hatchery does take quite some damage, but overall, no more damages than that. Corruptors? Wait. Is that a misclick? No, they're both Corruptors. But... Okay. There's infestation pit, so I guess we may be going into Broodlords. Okay. I just think it's still a while away before Sugarcoat is able to get to Broodlords, and doesn't have a very strong army standing right now. Meanwhile, on the side of BlueKnight, we have quite a few tanks, quite a lot of bio and ghosts already prepared. That may be quite rough for Sugarcoat there. BlueKnight scans this fourth base, so knows exactly where it is. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Oh, we see a lot of factories on the way. Thors are already in production. Has BlueKnight seen the Spire? I mean, he might have seen a Corruptor maybe. Maybe when he scanned. I mean, there are turrets, there are Thors, like... It's pretty certain that either BlueKnight has seen the Corruptors or has played this style before and knows that this might happen. Once again, not a lot of creep spread here from Sugarcoat. That's something I have noticed. Creep spread definitely very helpful for the Zerg. Not just for the movement, but for vision itself. Obviously, Terrans are pretty good at cleaning it up, but BlueKnight has not been that active across the map, so potentially something to work on. Base for the Terran has been set up in on the left side. Ultra Cavern. Okay. So in fact, not going for Broodlords, but going for Ultras with Corruptor support. Okay. Hellions sneaking in, trying to see if they can get any damage, but it does not look like that's possible. We don't have any upgrade for the infestors, do we? Okay. Adrenal glands are almost finished, but it's time for BlueKnight to move out, and it looks like the armies will be meeting in. Oh, the tanks are so vulnerable here, and the Zerglings will completely surround them. Very nice catch for Sugarcoat. Now the Bennings are rolling into the bio army. There's still a second line of tanks, so this army is not completely defenseless, but the second line will also be falling, and now the Ultras pop out. The Chitinous plating is not finished yet, so they are not quite as strong as they could be. But nonetheless, those are some heavy losses for BlueKnight there. But very nice catch for Sugarcoat. Caught the tanks out of position as BlueKnight was moving across the map, and was able to take down most of the factory units. Very nice catch. And now then. Oh, we actually have some nukes on the way. Ooh, okay, okay. BlueKnight will be utilizing those ghosts for the nukes. Like both of our players are amassing the armies. The ultras have been remade, and now they do have upgrades, speed as well. Ooh, nice Widow Mine shot on these Zerglings, but nonetheless there is a lot of them, and they will be swarming into the Terran army. We do have Hellbats on the front, so they will help to soften this up, but the ultras are still standing, and they are chewing through these Terran forces. Straight enough. There's barely not enough Terran here to stop these ultras. Another Thor does pop up, but the ultras will nonetheless do a lot of damage in this base. And reinforcements are coming. Sugarcoat focusing on Zerglings. I mean, this is the fastest reinforcement you can get, and they are streaming across the map. The Corruptors are there to snipe any medivacs. Now they are streaming. Now the Zerglings are streaming straight into the natural base, and where are the forces of BlueKnight? They are still in production. We have some Marines, we have some Thors, we have some Liberators, but they are not out yet. The Ultras do get into the choke point, and they are being sniped by these Marauders, so not a lot of them do actually survive. But nonetheless, the Zerglings are swarming in. The Corruptors are also parked above the production, so in case any of the Liberators does pop out, they will be ready to snipe it. And with that, I think Sugarcoat has got it. The Zerglings running rampant in the main base of the Terran. Scanning the bases as well. BlueKnight tries to see exactly what situation he's in. But this is pretty much his entire production going down. Does have some here at the fourth base. It even has the planetary fortress, so it looks like BlueKnight will still try to fight. Will try to make production elsewhere. I mean, he does have a lot of bases, so that's definitely to his advantage. But the Zerg will find them eventually, and we'll see if they can hold. I mean, they have a pretty solid SimCity, but there are like no units. The entire army of BlueKnight has went down. He literally has 3 army supply. The Zerglings have found this fourth base. Streaming right in. This is some cinematic shots of the Zerg swarm. The planetary will be going down, and with that, GG is called, and Sugarcoat will be tying the series 1-1. Once again, GG to Sugarcoat, and yeah, this strategy of Ultralies with the Corruptors definitely paid off. I guess the Corruptors were there mostly to snipe the Liberators, but it turned out that BlueKnight did not have Liberators in time for these Ultras. And in the end, Zerg forces were able to overwhelm the Terran. We actually didn't see any of the nukes utilized, unfortunately, in this game. But we are now tied up 1-1. And we will see where we go for game number 3. And looks like we have our map. It will be the Old Republic. And here we are on the Old Republic. Ellie, where in the top right of said map we have our orange Zerg player. It is from Latvia, representing Clan Devoid. It's Sugarcoat, the second. And in the bottom left corner of the map we have our blue Terran player representing Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is from Clan Devoid, BlueKnight. Yeah, the HF, it reminded me, I was watching the All Things Protoss Team League. I remember there was like a highlight of Graf being like, what was it? Good luck to me, have fun to you. That was quite an opening to the game. And once again, Sugarcoat going for a proxy hatch. Each time it's a different proxy hatch, mind you. But once again, it is in the natural. And we'll see how BlueKnight reacts to it this time. Oh, but that's a very interesting detail. This SCV, you know, when it's mining over here, it doesn't actually see the hatchery because it's quite a bit away, and just barely BlueKnight is not in vision of it. So we see how that changes what it does. I mean, assume there will be no bunker on the low ground. Oh, the Reaper doesn't see it either. Yeah, the hatchery is still hidden, so it will be able to finish. And BlueKnight is none the wiser so far. Okay, so now what's the plan, Sugarcoat? What do we do with this hatchery? The pool is about to be finished. Yeah, Zerglings are on the way, but those are the ones back at home. More Zerglings over here. And this is when BlueKnight sees, hold on, why is there creep in my base? Across the map, the Reaper is actually shooting down some drones, so that's pretty nice, but I don't think it was able to kill any. No, it does say it has one kill, so maybe one drone did fall, but only one. And in the meantime, this is what's happening back at home. Something important to keep in mind is that those are speedless links. There's absolutely no gas anywhere. Only now Sugarcoat is taking the first extractor. There are no banelings either, so it's not like Sugarcoat can bust this wall. And we have a bunker here as well. He will of course try to nibble at these depots, but yeah, the Zerglings alone cannot do it. Like only banelings could really force themselves through this, and there are no banelings inside. The tank is already out, as that factory was way earlier. And with that, I think this should be the end of the aggression here in the natural. Of course, it will take a while for BlueKnight to clean this up. The creep has already been spread as well. So this will be a bit of an annoyance, but it will be dealt with eventually. The friendly fire on the Marines, not ideal, but you know, that happens. And with that, where do we go to next? I mean, BlueKnight already has this infrastructure set up. He has the double racks. Steam is more than halfway through. Again, he has to use quite a few scans on cleaning this creep, which is not ideal because obviously you want to spend those on mules. I mean, that energy. In the meantime, we do have lair from Sugarcoat, but what is the lair for? There's still no bending nest, right? Yeah, bending nest only now is being put down, so I guess we will be getting those bendings eventually, but not before the army of BlueKnight will be going across the map. I mean, there hasn't been a bending nest because of the delayed gas, and because Sugarcoat was still focusing on the units. The speedless Zerglings have to try and defend. His speed is about to be done, but it's not quite yet. So this bio unit will be moving forward. Queen is being sniped. Speed is just barely now finished. There you go, speed is done, but there is still the tank in the back. Ooh, and the Zerglings do jump on the tank, but there are Marines there to dwindle the numbers, and actually the tank does survive. And now there's a second tank to back it up. Sugarcoat trying desperately to make more Zerglings, and they will be they're about to pop out, but can it be actually enough for the defense? Banelings are being made in the main base. Yeah, and the units that are being made at these front bases are being sniped by the tanks. Things are marching on. They will get some of the marines, so that's nice, but the tanks are still standing. This hatchery is going down, and Sugarcoat only with one base left, trying to make some spines, trying to buy some time. As I mean, after all, like, this is not a huge force from BlueKnight. It's just that Sugarcoat does not have the units to defend from it. Oh, the tank on the back actually does get sniped. I think it was actually from friendly fire, not from Zerglings, funnily enough, but the spine crawlers do go down. The Zerglings are not able to finish, and with that, GG is caught, and BlueKnight will be taking this series 2-1 and moving on to the semi-finals. GG. Well played. Sugarcoat sure likes his proxy hatches. Which, I mean, look, I appreciate it. I am particularly fond of proxy hatches myself. With that, it looks like we have our semifinalists ready. Actually, both of them. Let's take a quick look. As BlueKnight just advanced to the semifinals, and it will be facing UncleClimax in the semis in the top. And the bottom semis is Choigalaxy, who did defeat Psikus 2-0. And will be facing StarKnight, who did take down Libre 2-1. See. Okay. Let me quickly prepare these semifinals. We are about to jump. It would be nice if I could type. Imagine that. Here we go. Versus. Okay, so I have the activity. Our next series is Choigalaxy versus StarKnight. That's the bottom semifinals. We are, of course, on Tourmaline. Now I'm gonna keep saying it. Okay. Let's see if our players are ready. Ready, ready, GI Jeff. Let's go. Welcome to Tourmaline. Wait, what? I just got very confused because Twitch only now just notified me that the predictions were over, even though they were over a while ago. Anyway, welcome to Tourmaline. We are here in the semi-finals of Sea Duckling Open number 142, where we look at our blue Protoss player. It is StarKnight. And in the top right we have his opponent. It is the red Zerg player. It is Choigalaxy. It actually makes me think if it's supposed to be Choigalaxy or like Choigalaxy, because I know that like that's a name specifically because that's a name in Korean. I know that it's not pronounced the way it's been romanized. Yeah, I'm not sure. But then of course the predictions are live in the chat. Of course we are on 2-minute delay, so they may be about to be finished. So make sure you get your gamba going. I don't think I was quite able to cast either of the player. I might have cast Choigalaxy, maybe? Question mark? So we will see. We will see what they want to go for. So far, nothing too out of ordinary. I believe this was a hatch first from Choigalaxy. Ooh, a Stalker first from StarKnight. That's interesting. I guess really wants to get rid of that pesky overlord. Okay, Galaxy going for that third base. Oh, the overlord is saved. And we have a Stargate on the way. So I assume once again that StarKnight will be just going for some oracles. Yeah, the adepts are already on the way as well, so probably just a bit of harassment across the map. You know, like Choigalaxy is running up. Speed is almost done. But nothing too aggressive so far. No spores though, but I mean, there's still a bit of time. Of course, he did not see the Stargate, but it's usually, you know, better safe than sorry, as they say. Like, a lot of Zerg will just get spores just in case. But of course you can try to cut that corner if you want to. It's just a bit more risky. But yeah, there you go. There we go. The spores are on the way now. Now we'll of course seize the Stargate. Where did the Oracle? Oh, it's just chilling in the third base. Okay, so StarKnight just making sure that this third base does not get denied. So the Oracle just parks there. Meanwhile, we have Twilight Council on the way. Second Oracle on the way as well, so I assume once the second Oracle does join in, that's when StarKnight will go on the offensive. Meanwhile, on the side of the Zerg, we do have a Roach Warren and Lair on the way. Lair actually on the Natura base, which is an interesting choice. Not uncommon, not uncommon. Like, a lot of people do get Lair on those farther bases just because that gives a bit more HP, a bit more health to the main building. So in case there is an attack coming, it may survive a little bit longer. There are two queens though at this main base, so the Oracle wasn't quite able to get in. Actually, only one of them did go across the map. Yeah, only one Oracle. The second one was still parked on top of her base. You know, got a little bit of a poke, got a bit of a revelation, so some scouting was done. And Choigalaxy decides to go for a Hydra then. I guess that will help against the Oracles, but also, you know, I'm seeing a bit of a return of Roach Hydra. I mean, it's always been a strong composition, and it's been popping up a bit more lately again. Nice overseer scout there from Choigalaxy sees the Templar Archives being finished, and a lot more gateways coming up as well. Again, the Oracles of StarKnight are trying to get this time into the third base of the Zerg, but there are also two queens there. And all they can do, the Oracles can do, is the revelation. It looks like the Templar Archives is not for Storm. The Templars are only used for the Archons. Storm is not being researched, so it looks like StarKnight will be focusing on those Archons. I mean, they are pretty good versus Zerglings, so that's always nice. But I don't know if there will be many Zerglings. It looks like this really is Roach Hydra. And StarKnight gets a glimpse of it with the Oracles. Of course, Archons are still good units, you know, in other cases as well, but I feel like Roaches deal with Archons fairly easily. So we'll see how that goes. Wait. Choigalaxy. Did I just... Where is it? I need to know. The drop alerts! Oh, so it's not just a Roach Hydra. It's a Roach Hydra drop. Oh, that's so interesting. Unfortunate for Choigalaxy, there are zealots around the map, so it looks like this Doom Drop will be spotted. The question is, like, how effective is it gonna be regardless? I mean, it looks like at least this new base should be denied. The army is nowhere near to stop this from happening. But this Overlord is so vulnerable to these Archons. A few of them may be going down. Yeah, Choigalaxy decides to go back, but in the process he loses quite a few Overlords. These Archons are pretty good at that. This looks like still... Yeah, no, not enough. Not enough Roaches to even defeat these Archons. Yeah, and with that the army gets decimated, but at the same time there is another small force on the west side. Oh, this probe. Look, this is you know, this bouncer is on the job, you know. Not even Immortals can go through. And now the Zealots go on top of the army. There's not many Roaches, it's mostly Hydras. And Hydras are pretty squishy, but they do have a lot of firepower. More Zealot reinforcements coming in. The Immortals are still standing strong. One of them is quite damaged, but there is a shield battery which did help it survive. Choigalaxy going for a lurker then, so that's the next step here. More immortals coming out. Looks like 2 at a time are being made. So nice turn right in on top of the army. Another Archon does go down. I mean, neither of the players has a huge army right now, but these immortals do pack quite a punch. More roaches are reinforcing this Zerg attack, and we see what they can do, but the Zealots once again are getting on top of the Zerg. And I think Choigalaxy has to give up on the aggression here. Now StarKnight is ready to move out, chasing this army all the way across the map. There is an observer with this army, so he's able to clean up the creep as well. Hi. Look at this drone, just, you know, just chilling, just floating around. One day when he grows up, he will be a hatchery. Ah. There you go. The Archons have been remade for StarKnight, and a lot more it looks like will be added. Oh, actually not that many. Actually, I think this Templars may be kept for Storm, because this time the Storm is actually finished. As the battle was happening, StarKnight did get Storm. I mean, we did see it in the last fight. And we have first lurkers on the way, but not many of them. We see how that works for Choigalaxy. There's a lot run by here to distract the Zerg. It looks like the entire army is responding at the same time. StarKnight is marching forward from the other side. And we have a lot of Archons here, a lot of Immortals, and some Storm as well. The Lurkers do burrow, but the first of them is sniped immediately. Once again, there is an observer with this army, so the Lurkers are not really hidden. StarKnight has to be careful about these storms, not to walk into them himself. But nonetheless, he is zoning out the Zerg army. This frontal base should be falling. And with that, GG is called, and StarKnight will be taking game number 1. It's like, game, hello, I did quit, hello. Yeah, very nicely played by StarKnight, making sure that, like, basically what won him the game was, you know, he did lose a base to that original Doom drop, but he was able to bring his entire army. Oh, cool. Ah. That's nice. These are decided that I may not connect to the server. I see. I hope the stream is still up. It's looking fine. Oh. Oh boy. Oh, whoa. Now my menus are all wrong. That's cool. Never had that bug before. You know what? I'm gonna restart the game. I don't like what's happening. 1 second. Okay, game. What are you doing? Oh, this is concerning. Something is eating my processes. It's not good. Oh well. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I mean, look, this computer is a few years old now. Stream is still up. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Something is suddenly eating all of my CPU. I don't even know what. Because it's not the game, it's not OBS, so I don't know what it is. Damn it. Like it's something Windows is doing or whatever. Okay, can I... Yes, thank you. Okay. Oh, God. Did I do predictions? I think I did I? Hold on. Okay, I did predictions, never mind. Okay, we're good. Don't panic. No, actually panic because I didn't, oh no, the scene switcher. Panic. So I restarted the game and I didn't restart the scene switcher. Hold on. Hold on, we can do this. Okay, we are back. Everything is working, I'm sure. Okay, we are in game number 2 on Ruby Rock LE, where in the bottom right corner we have the blue Protoss player. It is StarKnight. And in the top left corner we have our red Zerg player. It is Choigalaxy. Last game we had a... For the most part we had a standard game, except for the fact that our Zerg player did go for a Roach Hydra Doom drop. Which, you know, was effective, but unfortunately was also cleaned up right after. And we will see what our players go for this time. We do have Hatch first from our Zerg. It looks like the Protoss will be going for that Nexus before Core, so it doesn't look like either of them wants to start too aggressive. In the meantime, if you want to support this tournament, and by this tournament I mean this specific edition of the tournament, the Sea Duckling Open now at 142, then you can do so with Macherino. Macherino is the way to do so, as that supports this specific tournament. So if you want to boost the prize pool, if you want it to be a little bit higher today, if you want, you know, if you think those are very interesting games and you want to reward the players a little bit more, then you are free to contribute. Of course, nobody has to. Only do that if your budget allows it. And if you want to support the tournament as a whole, if you want to see it keep running and keep growing potentially in the future, then make sure to check out the Patreon. This tournament, as well as Masters 1 Open, as well as our Open. Yeah, it's always funny to say that. As well as our, you know, non-restricted weekly, the Sparking Tuna Cup, all three of those are completely funded by Patreon. So shout out to our Patreons, because without them this tournament wouldn't be happening. And we are very proud that our community helps us run these tournaments. And it's thanks to them that they are here. Okay, so we have Link Speed and Roaches on the way. Yeah, on Protoss side, there's a Twilight Council, but with an early Robo already making a War Prism. So I wonder if this is gonna be like Blaze or something. Yeah, StarKnight makes sure that this is not scouted, but no, this is Charge. Charge and Immortals. Oh, this poor probe. Oh, there you go. Made it. The Zerglings are here. The Adept is in the wall, but there is no shield battery, so this Adept will actually fall quite quickly, and now the Zerg goes right in. The Immortal will be juggled with this War Prism. But Immortals are not ideal versus Zerglings. They can do damage versus Roaches though. Yeah, the production on the front is completely unpowered, and I don't think there are any engagers that are currently powered. Where they are. StarKnight is making another one in the main base, but at the same time he is losing workers in the mineral line. The Stalker does fall. The second Immortal is not even halfway through, so it will be a while before it pops out. So it's just this one Immortal to hold the entire base. More and more probes are falling. 33 probes down. This one Immortal is trying its best, being juggled by the War Prism. It's so low on health already, and this pylon is also being destroyed. With that, the entire production is halted. And GG is called. Choigalaxy ties up the series 1-1. GG, nicely done there for Choigalaxy. Okay. I mean, the thing is, I feel like really it was the lack of shield battery in the wall. Like, if there was a shield battery, it's possible that this could be helped, but I don't know if it would matter, because You know, that one adept could not hold the entire army, even with a shield battery, right? Like, it would buy StarKnight a bit of time. But I don't think it would be enough to stop the attack long enough, right? But nonetheless, very strong attack there from Choigalaxy. Is able to take the game. And we are in a tied up series. Going into game 3. As a reminder, those are semi-finals. So one of these players will be advancing to the finals where they actually will get a prize money. A prize money? Really, bro? You English so good. We shall grant you a single prize money. Here is your piece of a prize money. This is stupid. Anyway, we are in game number 3 of the semifinals and we are on Old Republic Ellie, where in the bottom left corner we have our blue Protoss player. It is StarKnight. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the red Zerg player with that strong attack last game. It is Choigalaxy. Choigalaxy, of course, he has been featured on our channel before and he has been organizing some stuff of his own, so that's always fun to see. I do wonder if there will be more happening, because I think it's been a while since one of the Choigalaxy tournaments, so I wonder when more is coming. But nonetheless, it's great to see him participate, and it's also nice to see StarKnight and what he can do as well. I mean, StarKnight looks like a very strong player, so I mean, as we saw, like either one can make it to the finals, and we'll see which one it will be. I can't get over this. Okay, somebody in the chat, tell me which setting makes it this pixelated. It's specific this texture. No other texture looks as bad as this one. I don't know why. I think I have textures on medium, maybe. Question mark. I have to check. I just remember that there was like a requirement for the ESL Cups, the specific like settings, like minimal settings. So I think I have the minimal settings from there. But it's specifically this texture that just for some reason it's just so pixelated. Like no other texture has that issue. It's interesting. So thank you for the raid, Luis GGG. Wait, Luis GGG. There you go. Too many G's. Stop butchering the English language. Ah, I'm sorry. Sorry? I can't make bad accent. Like, my accent is bad enough. I can't make it worse. On purpose. Okay, we have a Twilight Council. Once again, Twilight Council with an early War Prism. I would assume it will be similar to last game then with the charge. You know, we have 3 bases from the Zerg and Roach Warren already on the way. No link speed this time, or at least not yet. I think spores. I mean, again, safety spores, always good to have, but this time there is no There is no Stargate here to endanger Choigalaxy in that way. Instead, it looks like we will have a double immortal drop. And we see how Choigalaxy deals with it. I mean, again, he does have those roach warriors, so that will be very helpful. But immortals are pretty good at dealing with roaches, especially in small numbers. Another overlord coming in. Sees all the gateways at least. But the war priest is already moving out. And where are we going with this? This third base? I mean, it is completely naked here. There are only drones here. There's no forces. The queen only now joins in. The roaches are in the natural. They could join here to try and defend, but there's not a lot of them. The Zealots jump right on top of the queen. The roaches come and try to defend, but ooh, the Ravager gets completely demolished. This base should be going down, but it looks like StarKnight is focusing on the army. I mean, he sees that there's not that many roaches yet. So this may be his chance to just break the entire base. Another queen gets sniped. Ooh, the adept actually gets surrounded by the Zergling, but it does survive just barely. But with that, the Zealots are dying, and now these Immortals have no support. The Warbeast has to bring more. But another Warpin, once again protecting these Immortals as they march forward. The Zerglings from behind are a nice trap there, and actually it looks like one Immortal may be going down, but ooh, saved by the War Priest. Just barely the Immortals stay alive, and the Zealots are able to deal with the roaches. Now only one of the Immortals is going forward, but this is the last of the forces. More roaches are on the way, but they are not out yet. The drones are being pulled off the line. They're trying to escape into the third base, but the third base is also surrounded by the Protoss. Looks like the Zerglings are trying to shoot at the Zealots that are being warped in, but that doesn't matter because the Protoss is in the main base, and with that, StarKnight will be taking game number 3 and the entire series. GG, well played from StarKnight. Very, very solid play. So, nicely done. And with that is the semi-final, the bottom semi-final. StarKnight takes down Choigalaxy 2-1 and goes to the finals. Let me quickly update this score. And there you go. So StarKnight will be waiting in those best of 5 finals there. In the meantime, we have our second semi-final, and we are about to get that set up. Oh, it looks like... Oh, hold on. That does... What? What? I think someone... Okay, someone is trying to update the Wikipedia and it's not quite correct. Well, we'll have to take a look at that after. Oh no. Anyway, yes, it's UncleClimax versus BlueKnight in the other semi-final, and we are about to get that underway. I think we will get that semi-final set up, and in the meantime we will go on a quick break. So we'll see you when the lobby is ready. And welcome to the top semi-final, the other semi-final of Sea Duckling Open number 142, our monthly amateur tournament for up to 4.2k MMR players, so around the diamond level. And we are here, as I said, in our top semi-final. We're in the top right corner of Tourmaline. It is, I think, I want to say playing for the first time in our tournament, but I am not quite sure. I would have to double check that. I have definitely seen this name before in other tournaments though. It is our orange Zerg player from Australia representing Vanguard. It is UncleClimax. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the blue Terran player. Representing Clan Devoid and coming from Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is BlueKnight. Like, I appreciate it because it's on theme. Like, you know, it's appropriate for the name, but it does trip me up every time I have to say Blue Terran when I see the name BlueKnight, because I just want to say the Blue Knight, you know? That's what my brain tells me. See, if BlueKnight was playing Warcraft, he would be playing humans, okay? That's what I'm saying. It just trips me up every time, it's so funny. Yeah, as always, BlueKnight scouting the natural, making sure that there's no shenanigans going on. I mean, he did get proxy hatched twice in the previous series. But it does not look like UncleClimax quite wants to go for that strategy, at least not yet. And yes, as Light is saying in the chat, if you want to support this specific edition of the tournament, there is the Macherino page, which has direct contributions to this specific edition. However, if you want to help all of our tournaments grow, so as I said, Sea Duckling Open, Masters 1 Open and Sparking Tuna Cup, then you can check out our Patreon. And it doesn't have to be a big contribution, I'm just gonna say, because, you know, there's a lot of patrons currently that you can contribute to, but even you know, that single dollar is still a lot, you know. When a lot of people gather their single dollars, it actually becomes quite a lot of money. So, if you have the budget for it, definitely check it out. But if you don't, that's also perfectly fine. I mean, as I said, there are so many patrons, there's so many like crowdfunding efforts amongst, you know, other things as well, like not just in esports scene, but like in general, a lot of creators have their own way to support right now, so it's difficult to contribute to all of them. But even watching is already very helpful. Again, every viewer that we have is already a great help. So that also helps. Sharing, you know, our social media posts, that also helps. So if you want to contribute in other ways, that's also possible. Or even stuff like this, where we were talking about this beforehand, how Sugarcoat was like talking to other players, like, hey, this tournament happening, like, hey, this amateur tournament happening, so, you know, you can encourage your fellow players to join other tournaments as well. That's also like helpful for the scene in general. This is where I should mention the sign-up list, in case you're looking for a tournament to play in. We do have a sign-up list on Wikipedia, in the Wikipedia user space, where we try to list all the sign-ups that we can find. As in the meantime, our players are proceeding as usual. I mean, as expected, BlueKnight is going for this bio-tank style, which he has been showing in pretty much every game so far. Just some Hellions to harass. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have Roaches. Yeah, Roaches with Flare. Do we have speed yet? No, no upgrades for the Roaches quite yet. But there is a lair in case they do. In case UncleClimax does decide to get that speed. Oh, Helion is so excited to be repaired. You see? Yes. Oh, preachy. We have the third command center being currently built for BlueKnight. Yeah, as I said, that Roach speed is on the way for UncleClimax and the fourth as well. One of these days, I don't know if I can do this today, but I will make the new intro, because for those who don't know, like on the beginning of the stream we now have like, it's not really an intro video, but it's like intro background with like different maps, but they are from the previous map pool because I have not had the time to make the new ones yet. I will get to it eventually. I mean, I say that, and like pretty soon we're supposed to have another TLMC, so you know. Oh, as this Marine drop comes into the third base, should be able to snipe this queen, but the Roaches are there to respawn. At the same time though, as this is happening, there are Helions being dropped in the main base, but it looks like it's been actually dealt with. So overall only 2 drones going down. That queen of course did die as well. But it could have been much worse for UncleClimax. BlueKnight still poking at the Zerky. I mean, if nothing else, it gives him information on what kind of army UncleClimax is working with. Also denying some creep, which is always nice. Ah, the die. Meanwhile, UncleClimax did get a Hydra then, and there will be Hydras coming, so I guess once again we will be seeing Roach Hydra, it looks like. There is no binding nest, no nothing, so I don't think Zerglings will be included, or at least not initially. Okay, this is very funny to see all these Roaches trying to get into this single spot here. But it's time for BlueKnight to move out. He has quite a few tanks, he has quite a few Marauders in his army as well. And he's going for the third base. But there are a lot of Roaches on the side of UncleClimax. The Hydras are following behind as well. And 2 tanks already following 3 tanks, only 1 tank left behind. Oh sorry, 2. It looks like it may be just enough to clean this up. But of course not without a lot of Zerg losses. That single tank does survive. And UncleClimax has to wait for reinforcement. Ooh, Blinding Cloud is being used. Not Blinding Cloud, what am I saying? This thing. The other one. The Corruption Swarm. You know, that one. Okay then, why is my mind blacking out? Tinker. We have it somewhere in your brain. You may have to like dust it off and like, you know, clean some spider webs, but it's somewhere there. is it cold? Ah. Respire as well, by the way. Microbial shroud, there you go. It's a nice siege position here from BlueKnight as he's able to destroy this base across the cliff, but also fights this army. Losing the tank though. And now the microbial shroud is used, but only on part of the army. Enough though to clean up these tanks. The Liberators are the last ones to move away. And UncleClimax decides to go on the offensive, does not clean up those Liberators, so they will be doing more damage in the bases, but at the same time he may be able to do damage across the map. Focuses the Liberators. And there's not that much army otherwise for the Terran. Of course there are reinforcements coming, but it looks like UncleClimax may be able to take this base, maybe? It is quite close. This army is quite bruised. Oh, we have a ghost. So BlueKnight once again switching to the ghost. But now with the tank, that this army will be cleaned up eventually. "21 SCVs did go down though, so that's pretty nice there for UncleClimax. Some reinforcing army is coming, but I don't know if that's the greatest idea. I mean, it's only the bio here, like the tank did stay behind. So, yeah, UncleClimax can totally jump this army. Some snipes going down on the Hydras. This newly landed base will also be under attack. It looks like it will be going down, yeah. Then I'm losing 2 command centers. So overall, pretty nice for UncleClimax. However, he did lose a lot of army. You have to keep that in mind, so we'll have to remake it. But that said, BlueKnight does not have that much of an army himself. Of course the production is at full speed. But is that speedy enough? Ooh, another base gets denied. It does get cancelled though, so that's good. More Hydras are being sniped. BlueKnight does not chase that army though. Lurker upgrades are on the way, but I don't think we have any lurkers quite yet. Yeah, not yet. I mean, there are not that many Hydras at the moment. Oh, sorry, that's not... That's lunch! Oh, I didn't even know that's the icon that it was. Okay, never mind, that's for the Hydra. What am I saying? Nevertheless, G is called and UncleClimax will be taking game number 1. I thought this was the lurker upgrade. Yeah, I have not seen launch in a long time. Oh boy. Oh boy, the muscle memory is strong. On the European server and on the. Okay. Of course, I didn't start predictions. Why would I start predictions? But on the European server and on the American server, I have the extension mods in different order. I keep clicking the wrong one. Welcome to game number 2 of this semi-finals. I will actually post predictions. Why not? There you go. Predictions are up. Nobody saw that they're delayed, okay? Nobody did Captain Fish, and we're gonna be fine. Anyway, here we are in the second game of the semi-finals. We are on Winter Madness, where in the bottom right corner we have our orange Zerg player from Australia, representing Vanguard. It is UncleClimax. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the blue Terran player from Bosnia and Herzegovina, representing the Void. It is BlueKnight. Hatch Fairies from UncleClimax. And it looks like it will be Repair Expand for BlueKnight once again. Oh, of course, if you want to participate in tournaments, then tomorrow we have our fully open, non-restricted tournament, the Sparkling Tuna Cup, in which both the amateurs and the pros play. So if you want your chance at potentially playing versus, say, Björn, that option is there. Of course, you know, it depends on the seeding who you will get, but it is possible to do so. However, if you want to play in an amateur tournament like this one, up to Diamond, where, you know, you can play more around the same skill level, then actually, next week, next Saturday, we have another Sea Duckling Open. Normally that's not the case. Normally this is only, you know, once a month, so like, because we alternate with MSO, it's like every 2 weeks there's an amateur tournament of some sort. But because we had to change the schedule so much in February because of all the other events happening in StarCraft, we actually, like, all the amateur tournaments just condensated in these few weeks, and we actually have 2 Sea Duckling Opens in a row. So if you missed this one, or if you played in this one and you enjoyed playing in the Sea Duckling Open, there is another Sea Duckling Open in just a week next Saturday. So the signups will be going for that will be going up shortly after this tournament. So don't miss it. Ooh, nice denial there on the third base. There, going up for UncleClimax. I assume once again for roaches, because there is no speed, right? Yeah, there's no speed. So probably once again going for the roaches. Meanwhile, BlueKnight, the usual, 2-1-1. Or as Steamon would say it, 1, 1 plus 1, 1. You're welcome. Also, shout out to Kashim, who has subscribed for 29 months. Welcome, and thank you for supporting. Kashim, of course, the legend of StarCraft, not just the Polish StarCraft, but the StarCraft on, you know, global scale. For those who don't know, Kashim is the admin of many tournaments, but also he's the main contributor of Aligulag and one of the most active Wikipedia contributors as well. So if you see stuff updated, there's a very high chance that Kashim was doing it. So yeah, shoutouts to Kashim. And great to see you here. So we have these Hellions dancing around the bases. There are no drones yet at this third base, so there's not much they can really fight here, but they do remove the larva, which still has some impact on the Zerg economy. Oh, the drone transfer! Oh, they were lining up. It did not look like BlueKnight was quite confident enough to jump in on that. He would probably lose the Hellions, which for 3 drones is probably not worth. Yes, we have those road upgrades on the way. Meanwhile, for the Terran, Steam is about to be finished. Oh, actually carrying the Hellions right into the main base. Nice block there from UncleClimax. But the second one didn't quite come through and drones will be roasted. So 6 drones going down and there is an evacuation ready as well. That's a very nice harassment there from BlueKnight. Very nicely done. Okay, armory. Oh, pause. Okay, okay, just a bit of a pause, you know. Maybe there's a cat on the keyboard, you know. That has happened in tournaments before. It is funny that every time we see a pause screen, we will just forever remember Patience. Because Patience was the only player who had I think he had somebody at the door. He just left the game in a tournament. Like, he could have just paused and, like, you know, answered it and, like, you know, came back. No, he just left the game straight up. Yeah, just, you know, just checking some stuff, making sure that everything is working. You know, maybe it's some latency, maybe something else is happening, you know, at this place. So making sure that everything is working correctly. Okay. Okay, looks like everything is in order. Okay, ready. I need you to say ready, because I don't look. Okay. Okay.
Game resumed.
There you go. Okay. As we have the single drop coming from BlueKnight, going towards natural. Spore is on the way, but it's not there yet. It's literally walking. It looks like instead BlueKnight will just clean up some creep around. Maybe poke at the bases a little bit, but Nothing too committed, obviously, with only a single drop. Back at home, working on Liberators, working on more production on the upgrades. So does scout those roaches, so sees what the army of his opponent is. He has quite a few tanks already prepared and more on the way. Meanwhile, UncleClimax is actually going for Baneling's Nest this time. You remember last game it was just purely Roach Hydra, there were no Zerglings or Banelings to be seen. But considering that BlueKnight does go for the bio tank, Banelings will definitely be very helpful. Yeah, once again, BlueKnight already going for ghosts fairly early. Ooh, and a Liberator coming right up into the natural base, even with Mule to fix it. But it turns out that Mule cannot out-repair a Queen. Just barely. Liberator survives. In the meantime, the drop is still going around, just, you know, feeling some creep, distracting the army, and also now, BlueKnight sees that there are a lot of more Zerglings in this army. Banning speed is on the way, so Bannings are sure to follow. Now we have a 4th base for the Terran. More factories. I mean, getting more of everything really. Production is solid. But again, we do have these ghosts, and I do wonder if we will be seeing some nukes this time, because that is something that BlueKnight was trying to do in the game versus Sugarcoat, I think. But it just you know, it never reached that point. So I wonder if we maybe see some this time. UncleClimax spreading his vision with the Overlords, but the army is already here. The Queen's will be going down, but now the Zerglings move in and they will be going straight for the tanks. Some of the Banelings actually crash into the tanks, which is not ideal, but nonetheless, the army is being cleaned up and Zerg is victorious in this battle. Once again, the Liberator is back here in the natural, so distracting UncleClimax. And I mean, he did defend the attack from the Terran, but he also lost quite a few units. He did remake some of the Zerglings. It looks like he actually will be going on the offensive. There is a planetary here, so he cannot just run straight into it. But nonetheless. So those Vision Overlords also are spreading creep in every base. So UncleClimax is fully aware of any potential expansions going up. Yes, there are a few bases that are not covered, but most of them are. Ooh, and we have 5. Are we gonna see Broodlords this time? Not quite yet. Another Liberator going down at the natural. Once again, BlueKnight makes sure that UncleClimax cannot focus on the offensive as he constantly pokes at different parts of the base. Like, those are not huge attacks, but they are enough to take the attention away from the main army. That said, adrenal glands are on the way. So those cracklings are about to be way stronger. Not quite yet, as a lot of them do go down. And UncleClimax is chased away from this base. Is to find another way of attack. Ultras are on the way. Of course, we did see that ultra cavern. I can remember words. The ultra cavern was on the way, and now it's also researching the upgrade for the ultra armor as well. Oh, but we have two armies here. None of them too big. It's like basically double drops on both sides. But it is a distraction. As in, it is pulling the forces of UncleClimax to go side. Ooh! Looks like BlueKnight was not watching this one, and the banings do crash into it. And it looks like UncleClimax does not stop there, as he is actually marching forward towards the base. The army was a bit out of position, so it looks like this planetary will fall. Ooh, but can UncleClimax really go against this Terran army? It looks like he can. Yeah, the factory units actually did not have enough support, and the Zerg is still pushing forward. Now the Vikings do land to give a bit of cover to those swords, to those tanks, but there are still many roaches left over. I mean, this army will be cleaned up eventually, but so far it's doing a lot of damage, and again, it's getting rid of a lot of those factory units, and those do take a while to rebuild. Not to mention all this damage here. That was quite a Widowmite shot, but nonetheless the SCVs will be going down, and that is a lot of damage here to the BlueKnight's economy. Eventually, with the reinforcements and the returned drop, he is able to hold the base, to push away the Zerg, but he did suffer quite a few losses in this fight. Oh, you can actually see. Yeah. I mean, UncleClimax has also lost quite a few resources just because he lost most of the army. But Zerg definitely is much quicker on the rebuilding armies, on the remaxing. UncleClimax is a crazy tag. Look! I was not gonna put attention on that. Just, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, and we have a strong group of Marauders here. Yeah, being chased by levers, I mean, that did deny the base. Ooh, actually kill on this hatchery. Very nicely done by BlueKnight. That was not a cancel. So, even though this was just a small piece of army, it still did quite nice. Still was able to get some damage done. Look. What I would say though is that every time I see this, I just think of Uncle Gaming, because there used to be a team in the Sea region called Uncle Gaming, and there were a lot of memes about it. That's all I'm saying. We have this first composed of mostly ultras. We have a few corruptors for security, I guess. Meanwhile, ooh, I missed the banings. The planetary. It's being fixed, but it almost went down to the banings alone. Now the ultras are here, and they will try to get through this army. There are a lot of Thors here. There are some tanks as well, but it looks like it's going down. A few more snipes from the ghost will definitely help. At the same time, those Marauders are back with a vengeance, and once again they are trying to take down the Saturate. There are queens here to defend and a few Zerglings to reinforce. But BlueKnight has had enough, and he is marching forward with his army. To be fair, this army, half of it is medivacs, so you know, that's not ideal. Oh, the Scorpions actually did find this command center. But they will be going down at the same time, though the rest of the Zerg army is here. The Zerglings are streaming in, they will catch this forward tank. And the Ultras are sure to follow. The Liberators up here. And where the Corruptors, only one Corruptor left and it only just popped out. Yeah, the Corruptors actually ran into the army and were taken down, so they are not here to help with the Liberators. Ooh, nice Widowmine shot there. A lot of Zerglings taken down, but there are still some Ultras left over. Banings roll into the Bio army and into the Hellbats. The Ultras are trying to take down the Thors, but there's not enough of them, and there are not enough Corruptors to take down these Liberators either. UncleClimax once again has to regroup, but can he do so in time? The Thors are marching forward and they still have a bit of a support of, you know, not a lot. The Liberators though, the Liberators are really helping there. Looks like UncleClimax will be attacking from the front. Banings roll in, Ultras are chasing the Thors, but the Liberators are taking them down. The Corruptors will be able to clean up the Liberators eventually, but there are still Thors left over. And where are the ground forces? There's no ground army here for UncleClimax. He is actually going into Swarm Hosts. But it's not enough time. GG is called and BlueKnight will be tying up the series 1-1. And we are getting ready for game number 3. I am also completely out of any water that I had on my desk, so I've seen the chat. I will survive. We are in game number 3 of this semi-final of Sea Duckling Open number 142, and we are on Old Republic, where in the bottom left corner we have our orange Zerg player from Australia, representing Vanguard. It is UncleClimax. And across the map we have our blue Terran player from Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is, representing the Void, BlueKnight. Of course, after this series, we will also be having our random raffle. As a reminder, we do have a random raffle for everybody who has participated in today's tournament. As you know, a small token of appreciation, as they say, for those who participated, for those who showed up. No matter how far they went in the tournament, they all have equal chance to, you know, finish the tournament with a little bit of a prize. Okay, once again, looks like BlueKnight will be going for this 2-1-1. Always gets that command center on the high ground as well. Okay, delaying the third base for the Zerg. Making sure everything is in order. Ooh, okay. This time we have very fast Ghost Academy. I was saying that he was getting, like, BlueKnight was getting it quite early. But this time he's getting it really early. It was finished before the starport, I think. So very early Ghost for BlueKnight this time. And we will see what he gets done with them. Well, meanwhile, UncleClimax once again opening with roaches, already getting that lair, so the upgrades are sure to follow. Yeah. That is some intense ghost production right there. And I'm really curious to see how that turns out. There is an Overlord coming, or Overseer even. So this may be scouted, I mean... The barracks themselves don't say much, right? It could be Marauders, and he doesn't quite see the Ghost Academy itself. In the meantime though, Hellions do actually get through the wall and right into the mineral line in the natural. They will all go down eventually, but not without frying quite a few drones. 6 going down. So nice bit of damage there by BlueKnight. I'm just really curious about these ghosts. Forward base there for UncleClimax. Viking is hunting down the overlords, so, you know, making sure that UncleClimax is not too comfortable on the supply. Has to constantly remake those. So are the ghosts just for sniping queens? Is that just what it is? Yeah, I think so. Sniping the queens, sniping the roaches, and yeah, the Hellions on the front, the ghosts on the back, and we see how much damage BlueKnight can do here. I mean, look at the queens, look at the roaches, they fall so quickly. And with that, just like that, GG is called. BlueKnight takes the series 2-1 and advances to the final. Yeah, definitely an interesting opening there from BlueKnight, and it does earn him a place in the finals, so very nicely done. And GG. So he has not used this strategy in years. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been... let me check. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen the ghost being so early, and yeah, very nicely done. Very effective strategy, as we could see there. And GG to BlueKnight. With that, we will be going to a quick break before the finals. Make sure to get some water, as I will. Make sure to get some snacks, and we will be right here, right back, with the finals and the random raffle. Stay tuned. And welcome to Sea Duckling Open. Sorry, as I was just caught off guard. Welcome to the Sea Duckling Open number 142, our monthly tournament for the amateur players up to 4.2k MMR. So around the diamond level. We are about to begin our finals for today, which, by the way, I did not believe that this would happen, but it actually did. We do have BlueKnight versus StarKnight, so it is a nightly duel. So this will sure be a lot of fun to cast. And both of them have played quite well today, so I'm expecting some interesting games. But before we get to that, we have something else. We have the random raffle. Of course, for those who don't know, in our tournaments, in Sea Duckling Open, in Masters 1 Open, and in Sparking Tuna Cup, we have the random raffle. So, a random participant, you know, you have to play at least one series. So, like, it doesn't matter if you lose in the first round, it doesn't matter if you get to the finals, but you have to actually play your games, and, you know, win or lose, you are then eligible for the raffle. Today we had no issues, we had no walkovers or anything like that, so everybody is eligible. And with that, let's find out who is today's random raffle winner. As drumroll please. It is Choigalaxy. Where's my button? Ah, this one doesn't work. How about this one? Okay, this one worked. Congratulations to Choigalaxy, who is the winner of today's raffle. So Choigalaxy walks away with $5. You know, where did Choigalaxy? Choigalaxy lost in the semifinals, so you know he went pretty far, but not far enough to the finals. But yet he still receives some prize money. So shout out to Choigalaxy, and with that, we should be ready for our finals. So without further ado, are our players ready? Let's go. This is of course the best of 5 series between our two knights. Let's go. Starting with Celestial Enclave. Where in the top right corner we have our blue Protoss player. Sorry about that. Anyway, in the top right corner we have our blue Protoss player representing Gaz, I guess. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what's the full name of the clan, so you guys might help me with that. But it is our blue. Oh no! Oh no! I just realized it is the StarKnight. Oh no! I just realized BlueKnight is not blue. Oh, that's not gonna be confusing at all. Anyway, in the bottom left corner, we have our pink Terran player representing the Void. It is BlueKnight. Or should I say Pink Knight? Oh no. Oh, I just realized. StarKnight is blue. Oh, how could that have happened? The GG spray. It's very interesting SimCity here from StarKnight. Damn it, BlueKnight. Spamming GGs. Meanwhile, BlueKnight going for that Reaper expand as usual. Nothing too out of ordinary. Oh, going for a sentry first, actually. That's a very interesting choice there for StarKnight, but I mean, could be useful with the Reaper maybe? But there are no units out yet, and this Reaper will munch on a bit of the probes. Does take 2, but now the sentry will chase it away. Sending that hallucination across the map, making sure what the Terran is up to. But as we said, nothing out of ordinary. We have a second Rax, we have the factory. Just 2-1-1 as usual. Meanwhile, StarKnight going for a Twilight Council. To be fair, I believe we've only seen BlueKnight versus Zerg today, so this is the first TVP that we will see, and we'll see how much it differs. Enjoy the color confusion. Yeah, thank you, Stilo. Thank you. I'm sure that will not be a problem. Yeah, it's a BlueKnight versus Pink Knight. Okay. Yes, StarKnight going for the trash. Oh no, it's even worse. Because I see the color blue like on the bottom where the names are. I'm like, okay, so the blue is the BlueKnight, so that means that StarKnight is pink, right? It's such a silly thing, but it's breaking my brain so much. Hilarious. Anyway, BlueKnight going for the Matrix. So we will see some Ravens. That is of course scouted by the StarKnight. I mean, it could be Banshee, right? But yeah, I don't know how common Banshees would be in this scenario. Beside of StarKnight, we do have some robo facilities. And a third base. Oh, that's a smart move to put a Widow Mine here in this pocket base, because no, you don't want to be surprised by any attacks from this side. Oh, looks like the Raven was able to sneak right into the natural base and actually put some turrets, but with the shield battery, it turns out the turret actually cannot do much. I was trying to see if the turret can outlast the energy of the shield battery, but turns out no. Oh, and once again, we see fairly early ghosts. We all know that the Knight Rider is the superior knight. Sure. Oh, the probes are actually starting to fall. The second turret was able to tank the energy of the shield battery. We have Templar Archives for the Protoss. Soon Storm will be quick to follow. The Knight adding more racks. So, you know, as usual, going for the biotank composition. It definitely seems to be his go-to. It doesn't seem like much of a mech player, although he does play, you know, tank Thors in the later game. But that was versus Eric. Okay, and we have the first move out from the StarKnight. There's some gateway units, some zealots, some sentries, and an Archon. No War Priest, no support that way, although at the same time, there is this double drop from BlueKnight. Going straight for the main base. Sensor Tower is immediately sniped. But that also alerts BlueKnight to what's happening. At the same time, this pocket is not covered by StarKnight, so the drop is actually able to unload without any issues. His long distance mining probe actually might have alerted the Protoss. Yeah, it looks like some of the gateways may get unpowered. Not all of them, because there are supporting pylons. But nonetheless, that does make the reinforcing potential much smaller. Shield battery, shield! Shit. God damn it, horseradish. I know, like, people have opinions on batteries, but they're not that bad, okay? Oh, can he snipe? Can he snipe? It was close. Oh, maybe. Yeah, looks like the Medivacs will get cleaned up. There are not that many units in them anymore, but still. Production is back up and running. Everything is powered once again. Meanwhile, BlueKnight going for a bunch of upgrades. Expanding his infrastructure. There you go. Probe does alert StarKnight to another push coming. Looks Looks like we will have a battle at this third base. We have tanks, we have Widow Mines, and nice. BlueKnight is pulling this Protoss army right into this setup position. The tanks are left alone a little bit though. Ooh, and there's a nice storm there on the entire Bio army. But with the reinforcements, it's enough to overpower the Protoss. Now let's see the reinforcing army from the Protoss. We have a few Zealots here. BlueKnight has to kite this. It looks like it's just enough for the time being. Another 2 gateways unpowered. It looks like this third base will be going down. What do we have back for StarKnight? Well, we do have some Zealots. We have the Templars, which will be used for Archons. I mean, some of them should be used for Storms, but they will take a bit to charge the energy. I think we have one. Yeah, we have one that has quite a lot of energy already. But BlueKnight decides that he has had enough. He actually goes back home to regroup. You know, reinforce his army. He did destroy the third base, he destroyed the Protoss army, and he decides it's time to rotate. Regroup, rotate, and try again. Spotter Zealots. We'll keep an eye on the Terran army here, and we have a nice big warp in here for StarKnight. Oh, but these Immortals are already I will remember the names of the upgrades one day. Anyway, we have a lot of Zealots coming in, but they walk right through the storm, so they are completely without shields. But that doesn't matter because they actually are able to do quite a lot of damage to this army. Another storm right on top of the bio. And looks like this time StarKnight will win the battle. The Liberators are still standing though, and they do actually quite a lot of damage to these Immortals as they walk by. And StarKnight actually goes for a counter-attack with all of these Zealots. This Planetary should be no match for this army. The reinforcements are coming in for the Terran. I don't know if that's enough. What does BlueKnight has back at home? There's not that many units actually. I mean, it's only Zealots, but if there is nothing to oppose them, they may do quite a lot of damage here. We have Zealots in this fourth base. We have Zealots trying to force the Natural, but not quite able to. Fourth base had to be lifted. These Immortals are so damaged, but they do have full shields. Nice feedback on the Raven. The Raven will not be able to contribute to this fight. And StarKnight is marching forward, blinks straight into the base. Aggressive blink over there. I mean, he has to get on top of this army to make sure that BlueKnight does not have a chance to regroup, does not have the chance to get the reinforcements going. Still have this Liberator which is protecting the ramp, but the Stalkers are already in the main. They blink right under the Liberator and just take it down. Few Widow Mines are still holding fort in the main base, but they already fired their shots, so they are now on cooldown. And with that, GG is called. StarKnight will be taking game number 1. GG. Very nice game there for StarKnight. I mean, BlueKnight was also doing pretty well, but it looked like he just didn't have enough going for him, despite taking down this base. Like, I don't know if he just let StarKnight rebuild too much, or if it was just something else in the production of BlueKnight. But yeah, he was just overpowered by the Protoss army. So we are waiting for our second map. As a reminder, this is Loser's Peak. Actually, let me write down. We started on Celestial. It's good to write down the maps for the finals because in a best of 5 series it's much easier to forget which ones were already played. We do have a bit of a change of color. I'll allow it, I guess, because it's not a mirror. Not ideal, but you know, you'll see. We'll sure make it easier to read. As we spawn on 10,000 feet LE, where in the top left corner we have our blue Protoss player representing GZ. It is StarKnight. Look, they have like a dragon in their logo. Nice. And on the bottom right corner we have his opponent. It is the light blue or teal Terran representing the Void. It is BlueKnight. Once again, nothing too cheeky, no proxies, no nothing. And once again, StarKnight opting for this wall around the Nexus. Definitely seems to be his SimCity of choice in this matchup. Nexus on the way. Command center for the Terran is sure to follow soon. And of course, this is a best of 5 series, so still quite a few of games ahead of us. Yes, we have this nice denial here. Oh, will the SV go down? No, no it doesn't. StarKnight meanwhile starting with an Adept. And going for the Twilight Council. And this time BlueKnight is going for Marauders, getting the concussive shells researched already. StarKnight meanwhile is researching charge. And the Robo is on the way. I mean, the Zealots definitely did a lot of good for StarKnight last game. So it only makes sense that they would appear this game as well. BlueKnight once again going for those Widow Mines. He doesn't do Widow Mine drops from what we've seen last game. That can change, of course. It looks like he's using mines more, you know, to set up positions and such. Be it defensively or offensively. So we have quite a lot of gateways. And it looks like Warpriest is about to be ready. It's more than halfway through, and it looks like StarKnight this time will be on the offensive with all of these Zealots. And we'll see if BlueKnight can hold the wave. There is a nice little spot here in the main base where StarKnight could warp in some Zealots, but it looks like he's going for a frontal attack instead. This Warpriest I assume will be for reinforcements then. At the same time though, this Reaper is still bothering the natural base. Oh, look at that warping, and Zealots are coming in. The wall is not complete yet, I think. No, actually this is solid. This is solid. But nonetheless, the depots will fall eventually. The command center is cancelled and the Zealots are pouring in. Ooh, the Widow Mines actually do hurt the Marines as well. As the Zealots do chase the army with that. GG is called, and StarKnight taking game number 2 with a very decisive attack. And he's currently on the match point. Not 3. So yeah, very how do I put it? Very strong attack from StarKnight. He just basically swarmed with Zealots. He was able to get through the defenses of the Terran, and there weren't that many units yet. So he was able to get right into the base of BlueKnight. And with that, he is currently up 2-0 in this best of 5 series. Okay, BlueKnight is asking for a little bit of a break. Okay. Okay, it looks like we will have to take a little bit of a break. As BlueKnight says that he has to feed his chickens. I mean, this is very important. Okay. If you are taking care of any animals, or humans for that matter, then make sure they are well fed. You know, you have to take care of them. So I guess we will be going on a short break, and as soon as BlueKnight is ready, we will be resuming this best of 5. Tune in. And welcome to Sea Duckling Open number 142. We are currently in game number 3 of these finals, of this best of 5 finals, where we have the 2 knights. It is a knightly battle. As in the top left corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Protoss player representing GAZ. It is StarKnight. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the green Terran player representing Devoid. It is BlueKnight. Yes, the nightly duel continues. StarKnight is of course up to 0 currently, so on match point for this best of 5 series. We did have a bit of a break in the middle. Yes. As one of our players had some other things to take care of. Very importantly. And we are on Ruby Rock, and let's see how things go. I mean, so far our players... I mean, they played macro games, they were solid macro games, although in second game, StarKnight did go for a very committed Zealot attack. Like, it wasn't a cheese or anything, but it was a very committed attack, and it did break the Terran. So we will see what our players are planning in game number 3. So far, BlueKnight winning the worker battle. The probe does fall. Oh, this probe saw it. It's like, oh, this SCV, it's so low. Can you do it? No, the SCV actually escapes. Look at that. At the same time, we have a probe harassing this SCV as well, but it does get taken down by the replay. Of course, we have Factory on the way. So far, BlueKnight was going for this. I think it was still at 1-1 opening, maybe 1-1, I'm not sure now. But he was going for the Draven into Liberators. A few mines on the way as well. But mostly for, not for drops, but just, you know, positional play. Setting up some defensive spots, setting up the offensive setups. Let's see where we go from there. Once again, StarKnight opens with that wild cancel. I believe this is called a joust. Maybe, yeah. Do you think they like brought their horses and those, like, what are they called? Pikes? I think they're called pikes, right? Anyway, we have once again concussive shells on the way. The fun has never been more appropriate than in this match. True. I mean, those are knights after all. They have to be announced. Oh, and interesting enough, it's not charged this time. It is actually blink first for StarKnight. So going for the Stalkers instead, not Zealots, at least not immediately. My concussive shells have finished, and we have steam on the way for our Terran player. We also have this small contingent of units moving across the map with a Cyclone this time, not Hellions or anything like this. Not a Widow Mine, but a Cyclone this time. Now, only a few Stalkers around, but we'll see how this engagement goes. I mean, this is mostly just a poke to see what's happening. Cyclone does take damage, and he's not quite able to take a Cyclone, but these Marauders will. Now the probes are in danger. There are still more Stalkers in the base of StarKnight, so this shouldn't be game-ending damage, but still it's a nice little harassment here from BlueKnight. Ooh, the Cyclone does go down, and the Warp is revealed to the Terran. The Medivac goes in, but a little bit too late to evacuate anyone. Did not quite make it in time, and BlueKnight is forced to go back, has to set up a defensive position, has a tank, but the bunker has only started. The Stalkers even blink forwards to catch some of the escaping units from the Terran, and it looks like, yeah, StarKnight will be going straight into the main base. There is a tank there though. There is a tank, but it had no support, and the Stalkers were able to focus it. Is StarKnight committing to this, or will he escape? I mean, he's trying to get as much damage done as possible. The CVs are pulled off the line to help with this. And with the high ground vision, the Stalkers on the low ground can also help a little bit. The Cyclone is here though. The War Priest is focused, and StarKnight has to move away. Ooh, did it actually go down? Yeah, the War Priest did go down, just barely. So 6 Stalkers and a War Priest lost from the side of StarKnight, and 1 tank, 3 Marines, and 7 SCVs from the side of BlueKnight. So all in all, it didn't turn out that bad for BlueKnight, I think. Like, sure, he lost the CVs, and that always hurts. But it could have been so much worse. The word you are looking for is Lance? Maybe? You know, like the thing is that they used on horses, is that the Lance? Maybe. Look, I'm not good on medieval vocabulary, okay? Not in English anyway. Ooh, as this Bioforce actually does focus the Stalkers and is able to catch quite a few out in the open. So at least that threat is not there anymore. In the meantime, StarKnight has been working on the Colossus. Did not get Thermal Lance quite yet, but has the Robo Bay potentially for it. I mean, has it for Colossus as well. BlueKnight getting ready for his own offensive. We'll probably try to push this third base as it's still not very defended. We only have some gateway army over here in the natural. Okay, that Zealot does tell StarKnight about what is coming. And the Colossus is now here. The Guardian Shield is helping as well. And the Zealots are getting on top of the Terran army. The tank is trying to shell at the Colossus, but the Stalkers do focus it down. And that it looks like the Terran will be cleaned up. Some reinforcements coming, but I don't think it's enough. Ooh, the Colossus is getting low though. Ooh, but sniping the Medivac full of units. Oh yeah. That feels bad for BlueKnight, as he did lose quite a lot of units. Ooh, the reinforcements are also a bit misrallied there, as they run straight into the Colossus. BlueKnight has to go back home, but with that, GG is called, and StarKnight will claim the victory with a 3-0 score in the finals. GG, and congrats to StarKnight. So GG, it was a valiant effort, as people say. It was a great fight there from BlueKnight, but unfortunately it was not quite enough. The Colossus was actually great for StarKnight and was able to dismantle the forces of the Terran. And with that, we have the winner of our today's tournament. So let us take a quick look at the bracket. As we can see, our today's winner, StarKnight, he did win 3-0 in the finals. He beat Choigalaxy, Libre, and Mukaboy on the way. Meanwhile, BlueKnight did very well for himself. He did beat UncleClimax, Sugarcool II, and T-City. And those were some very interesting games, I will say. BlueKnight has played very well today as well. So, yeah, congratulations to both of our finalists, and congratulations to StarKnight, the champion of Sea Duckling Open 142, the champion of February. That said, as you might have noticed, today is the 28th of February. And what does that mean, Kuro, do you ask, as I hit my hand on the desk? Ow. Anyway, what does that mean, Kuro, you would ask? Well, that means that this was the Sea Duckling Open for February, but this is a monthly tournament, so of course we have a Sea Duckling Open for March, and that is happening in just a week. We actually have 2 Sea Duckling Opens in a row, which almost never happens, so this is why this is so special. But the calendars aligned, and next Saturday will be the next Sea Duckling Open. So if you enjoyed this tournament, or if you missed this tournament and you wanted to play in it, then there's another opportunity in just a week on Saturday, same time, same place. There will be another Sea Duckling Open. Of course, a quick shout out to Choigalaxy as well, who was our today's random raffle winner. True. Oh, I never started prediction. Of course, I never started. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. Oh yeah, he's a star champion now. True. Maybe star king. If we're keeping it in the... I mean, to be fair, I guess they had tournament champions, right? Between nights. Well, anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. If you want to support this tournament and all of our future tournaments, then make sure to check out our Patreon. This tournament, the Sea Duckling Open, as well as Masters 1 Open, as well as Sparking Tuna Cup, all three of those are funded entirely via Patreon. So if you want to see more of those, if you want to see them continue and see them grow, then that is the way to do so if you have some budget to spare. But if you don't, that's also perfectly fine. Just watching our tournaments is fine. Just, you know, sharing our posts on socials. Just telling your friends that, hey, there's this tournament happening. Maybe you want to sign up, or maybe you just want to watch together. That's always helpful. Even, you know, even if it doesn't have to be a huge contribution to be a helpful contribution, you know? Like, it all adds up together. But with that is all for today's tournament. Of course. Let me quickly see, we have our schedule for this week, so in just a few hours. Oh, do I have muff on stream? In like 10-ish hours, I want to say, I estimated. In like 10-ish hours, Light VIP will be back on this channel with Luli Cup replays. The Luli Cup Grand Finals of 2025, Group B, I believe. And yeah, that will be a replay cast, of course, as we are still in the catch-up period. We're catching up on all the tournaments that we missed in January and in early February. So if you maybe didn't watch this game, or maybe you want to watch them again, those will be available. Light will be casting that in just around 10 hours. And tomorrow, around the same time, we of course have Sparking Tuna Cup, which is our open weekly tournament. Anybody can sign up. There are no requirements in terms of like games played this season. So even if you played like 3 games and you are still bronze, that's fine. You can also play in Sparking Tuna Cup. So check that out. Yes, Timo, thank you for reminding me about predictions. Thank you. It's kind of late, but nonetheless. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. I have been Kuro, also known as 16 Squad Sanseki. You can follow me at Twitch and YouTube at 16 Squad Sanseki, where I mostly play non-StarCraft games, if you're interested in that. Other than that, you can find me in the CranKy Ducklings, in the CranKy Duckling Discord, on the CranKy Ducklings channel, as I'm mostly working on the behind the scenes. And most of the time you can see Light casting here. And with that, I believe that is all. Of course, if you want to see more of our content, make sure to follow us. You can follow us here where you're watching, on Twitch or YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter or X. You can also follow us on Blue Sky. You can follow us on Mastodon, on Facebook, on Instagram. Basically, like any social media that, you know, a lot of people use, we try to use as well. So you can follow us there if you want to be notified about our events. Most importantly, our main hub of information is the Discord. So if you want to be, you know, the first to know the latest happenings, then make sure to join the Discord, as that is mostly where we are active. And with that, I think that is all. Of course, stick around as we will find another StarCraft streamer to raid. I believe Thermal has just started his 2v2. Actually, let me rephrase that. Hyper1 has just started his 2v2 tournament in SC Evolution, and that SC Evolution tournament, I believe, gives point for the Thermal 2v2. So if you want to check that out, that is available. But for me, this will be all for today, and I will see you guys either in the chat, you know, soon TM, or for the next broadcast in a week on Saturday. So see you then. Bye.